Isn't it funny to have a summit about the best technology in the world and then losing audio? You know, it happens. I remember I was a moderator years ago during the opening event for a power plant, and guess what? The electricity went out. So half the people in the audience were laughing their tail off, and the other was, oh no! So sorry, you know.
Good to be back.
I have two people here representing a technology company. It's so interesting. In the previous session, we did discuss technology, but didn't talk about technology. We talked about leadership, about purpose, about the young generation with ideals and aspirations and ambitions. Let's bring these two together, technology and what to do with technology, and not just, you know, send an email or do a video conference, but what is the added value when it comes to the new society we are all working on? I have two people here. We already met you representing Microsoft. Joost, you represent Logitech. Talk about the purpose of Logitech, making profit, selling stuff as much as possible. But then, you know, what we were talking about earlier this afternoon, purpose.
Purpose is better than being there. I think that is the purpose of video collaboration within Logitech.
It's the purpose of life, isn't it?
Yeah, no, and I think video collaboration, you can do without audio sometimes, but do without video, I think that is really what makes a connection. And I think purpose of creating video, which is like sort of seamless way of communication with each other, and then boundaries are disappearing. And the example is always being used by, you cannot go to every soccer match because they're only fitting 80,000 people in there.
Not even now. I mean,
not even now anymore.
Not even 80.
and you want to have that same experience. And I think that is the vision which we shared a couple of years ago amongst ourselves and to the world. Yeah, better than being there. And I think we're getting closer and closer. And I think we will never reach there, because I think the human interface is very important. And at the same time, it is it's a nice vision to have, because it's a goal that you continuously try to achieve and to reach.
But at the same time, people say, you know, that's great. Technology is terrific on your side. But at the same time, people want to touch and feel. I mean, it's a Dutch word, huidhonger, skin hunger. I don't like the word very much, but everybody knows, you know, be in touch with people, and people missing that.
No, but I'm missing that too. So it's not the case that you don't miss it. It's balancing out. So I think you can create with technology and with video. You can create other things and make your life more depth, because there are some things that you don't want to do anymore.
Give me an example.
Fly to the UK for 1 hour meeting.
That's nonsense.
That's nonsense. And paying high parking fees, and in the morning when it has been freezing in the north of Holland, you know, you have to go to your car and to clean your windows and wait for an hour, and then you over the Afsluitdijk, and then you're sitting in traffic for 2 hours, and then you come to that meeting and the guy is too late, and so are you. Yeah. So there's no purpose in there. So I think there's a lot of purpose.
I took off my PJs in order to be here, otherwise...
You can see that. So I think there is a purpose and there is an element in there, and I think what we learned in the last year is that the adoption ratio definitely on Microsoft Teams created that opportunity. And we don't have to overdo it, like everything, you know, you shouldn't overdo it, but you have to come back and to balance that out again, and then see what you really can do with video and to be more effective and more productive without getting forced and pushed into of course, the traps. Yeah. And that's what everything is all about. But it gives it gives back some quality in personal life, a better balance in personal life.
But sometimes with big changes, I mean, there's some kind of an overshoot in the sense that right now everybody says, I work from home or from anywhere. And is that an overshoot in the sense that eventually we may come back, like Microsoft is doing now, trying to bring some people, at least some people, back into the office?
Definitely we are. We're doing the same. I think we all have that connection we need to have to be part of something, and especially some functionalities that you want to be with people, create something, and want to join that. But I think there will be a balancing out of people will be in the office and people working from home. So there is a choice. And if you have the right equipment to collaborate with each other on video or interactive technology, then you still have that choice. And I think that is where it's all about, and that you can really be productive and effective and balancing out your life. And I think that is the major thing.
And Patrick, I assume, I mean, you have more or less the same purpose. I mean, Logitech is a different company than Microsoft, of course, but I mean, it may sound similar. What you would say when asked what's purpose of Microsoft.
Yeah, oh, definitely. It's similar, and Microsoft and Logitech both work together. Us delivering the software, you delivering the hardware that
Yeah.
runs on it. And I think it'll take a while before there are large-scale meetings again at the office. So let's say you do not have these equipment running in your rooms, then there needs to be a choice who is present in the meeting, and that's not very inclusive. So now that we equip rooms with equipment to do video conferencing, we can choose to have a small part actually physically present in the meeting, and then a larger part can join in from remote.
Yeah.
And hereby I think we can do better problem solving together, because you bring the best brains in the meeting and you don't have to leave them out because you have to practice social distancing requirements.
Because about a year and a half ago, when we started doing, this Zooming, Teamsing, whatever, and it used to be video conferencing, remember?
Oh, teleconferencing.
Teleconferencing. I mean, very often, video was lousy, audio was poor, and you were lucky when you saw the person actually on the screen instead of just, being all over the place.
Yeah.
That changed tremendously.
Yeah, that changed tremendously. That's right. And you can approach it from two levels, right? From the home office and from the actual office. So what we saw is people started using more professional headsets to order to participate in a meeting. And it's very important because like in real life, there's the first impression really matters. That applies to virtual meetings as well. So if you're in the meetings and if you have poor audio and video, that really changes the perception of a customer for your company. So we saw a major change in that. Now a change in the meeting rooms as well. Yep. Software has become more intelligent because people are being framed and put in the middle of the picture, for example. There's some touch-ups being done.
You can automate it, right?
Yeah, the experience is greatly improved. Yeah. What I like too is that the rooms are becoming more and more intelligent nowadays as well.
And it's not just a conference room with a video screen.
No, it's much more, but there's more intelligence added to it. So there are a couple small examples. One is that the meeting room will actually notify the people in the room when there are too many people in the room to practice social distancing requirements. So notification is given. Or for example, when a person goes to a whiteboard and starts brainstorming, that can be put on video as well. But not only that, it is cropped, so it's placed front and center for the people at home. The person who is standing in front of it is being made transparent, so people can see what he has written. So this way, people from remote, again, can participate in a physical brainstorming in a meeting room. So these are just a couple of examples how these rooms are
it is the cooperation between as being a company always centralized around the PC or the computer. The computer is now everywhere available. The data is in the cloud, so it gives you much more opportunity to have data on video, audio, richer data and wider available. And especially when you have endpoints that are becoming more intelligent inside the meeting room. So we have video cameras with not only one camera, but two cameras. So the one camera scans the room and the other one is being used for the meeting. So also the cameras are learning. So artificial intelligence is coming now into the meeting room and gives that input towards saying, okay, how many people are in the meeting? Is the meeting done? When you're coming to a meeting, it automatically puts on all the devices. So, and that's only the beginning. And the basic thing what was needed, and you referred to the old situation when you came into a meeting room, there were about 5 or 6 meeting controllers. And you didn't dare to touch anyone because you thought the meeting room would be exploding at that same time. And now it's just a simple tap on a device and the meeting will start. Or when you come with proximity sharing, the meeting will start.
So that sums up the change, right?
Yes.
So video conferencing has been there for, more than a decade.
Yeah,
right?
more than 2 or 3 decades.
Yeah, but the thing now that has become so simple that really can be applied to every office and can be operated by everybody. Yes. Because that is the key to technology, right? It's how easily it's adopted by the people who are using them. You can have great technology, but if people are not proficient in using it or it's too difficult, then the technology is worthless. And that's really the most major improvement that has been made for the last 2-3 years.
Oh, yeah, and of course your step into calling it teams, that means that more people. And I think that
it's about collaboration.
It's all about collaboration. And the adoption curve has happened due to the fact that yeah, we were dismissed from going to the office. Most of the knowledge workers, we have to work from home. Now, and then the adoption curve went up very high, so that means that people are using it and then seeing also the benefit from it. And that's where all the other speakers came in. Okay, how are we going to manage that as a culture? Because it's disruptive and it's not coming back. Parts of it will be coming back, but that's like it always
Because
is.
you just said this is just the beginning, what we're seeing now, what Microsoft is building, what you guys are building. What's next? I mean, we can barely imagine probably.
No,
it's like, you know,
could
being in
saying-
the age of the first PC when IBM still made PCs or something,
No, but maybe
which
you
is
would-
unimaginable with, you know, the knowledge we have now.
No, I think you're right. I think we have seen examples that you can do the same show in the US, and then a hologram of Charles is sitting there with a guy from Microsoft and a guy from Logitech.
Yeah.
And it's the same meeting. I can be a hologram, and Remco can be a hologram, and we're sitting in the US at the same time.
So that would definitely be next, right?
And that is next level.
yeah.
But that's, you know, where does it stop? I think we can decide, human being, not being an algorithm, can decide how far we want to take that. But that's with everything where technology is involved. So I think what we definitely see, and that's for now, is that when we are returning to the office and coming back to the office, because we want to have that balancing act, and I think some people won't go to the office, other people will, so there will be a hybrid model, as everybody's saying about.
Yeah.
That means that you have these capabilities of working together when people are at the office or people are working from home. And that is the big difference. So you don't have to be on purpose to be in that meeting room, in that office to collaborate to a bigger purpose. And you don't have to be there because you can be on other parts of the world.
Yeah. Siemens is one of your biggest corporate clients, right? I mean,
In the world, yes.
yeah. Talk a little bit about your work for Siemens, and we have a little video clip. But explain a little bit what this whole project is about.
No, it's actually the same thing. What we're saying is that Siemens decided to have a hybrid work environment, to work from home, and to have their meeting rooms equipped with video collaboration products. Now, together with Microsoft Teams, they adopted that very quickly, and everywhere if you work for Siemens, everywhere in the world, you have the same interface. So it doesn't matter where you are. It's actually when you're coming into a spot or you work from home, you have the same interface, which is Microsoft Teams, and you work with the same endpoints. So there's actually the adoption curve on the people from Siemens is quite high. New entrants, you know, they don't have to find out how things work now. It's a part of the solution, and it's part of the culture of working at Siemens.
Are you surprised about the speed of this change and this transition?
Yes, to be
COVID
honest,
was an accelerator.
Yeah. No, I was not. We were seeing this already, also with our development in products and the communication we have, of course, very closely with Microsoft, and we saw the roadmap, the technology roadmaps together. The acceleration was needed to get the adoption right, and the adoption was based on the fact that people had to be productive, and they had to move to basically Microsoft Teams, and that moved from 30 million to 125, 130 million a day. 30 million when COVID started, and 125 million a day now as we speak. So that's a huge adoption.
Yeah. Let's look at the video of Siemens and Logitech, please.
Cycling team, we have sometimes at one moment we're racing in 5 different spots in the world, but the overall way of how we work, how we do top sport, being world champion cooperation, world champion innovation, we have to be able to always bring things back centrally, communicate, improve the plan, learn.
You get a better feeling with each other.
Yeah, video calling is a really extra value of communication in our team. It's really important because I said, yeah, we are all over Europe.
I think the biggest difference between just calling and video calling is that you can really go more into depth. So for example, when we talk about performance goals and when a rider should have that peak moment with body composition, it is really crucial that that happens face to face or by video calling instead of just normal calling.
Well,
This is an interesting project.
it was an interesting project because it was not the Siemens one.
No,
It was
I've
the
thought it was-
the supporting of Sunweb as a cycling brand at that time. Now it's DSM, so the cycling team. We did their whole office and we made their communication better. So that's what we did also. So there are a lot of use cases.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And what's next for projects? And we were talking about Siemens. I mean, it was a different clip, but
No, I think huge corporates all over the world will start using video collaboration as a tool because it also takes away unnecessary traveling. And I think if you were before COVID and you looked at the expenditure on cost, flying costs, hotel, events, all kind of costs.
I mean, the
Time
number
and
of
time
hours
is,
we were waiting.
times are waiting, but times are not always measured in corporate sites. But if you look at that and you look now back and you're saying, okay, how can we have been so productive? It's not only on the front side, it's not only the way we make the money, also why we save the money. I think that is the biggest step also, is that big corporates saying, okay, let's look again at our culture, look again how we can use Microsoft Teams, and the adoption, that helps of course on that side, definitely.
We have another example, Poly, a hardware company. Can we see that clip?
How do you spell ballerina?
Personal life, meet professional life.
Give me a hand.
It took some fine tuning. Let's call it a learning curve. But we found our groove and our boundaries. We discovered new ways to multitask. Yet working from anywhere still doesn't feel like it's working. Time to make work really work. And that means focus. Take on every meeting with confidence with Poly Studio P Series. So when work needs to get done, you'll be focused, confident, and clear, and have the professional edge you deserve. Poly Studio P Series.
And in the Zoom call, we have Bart Kerkhoff. Bart, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wonderful. We were just watching your video clip about your beautiful hardware. What does it actually add to what we could do a couple of years ago?
Well, Charles, we will make you look good on video. That's
Finally, after all those years. Thank you so much. But I'm getting older, my friend.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I have more hair, though.
That's what the video is showing to you.
But I just heard you can make people transparent. That helps.
Well, Microsoft will do that job.
But seriously, I mean, we were talking about the quality of working from home or working from anywhere. You know, have to make, the next step in quality. But what can you add there?
Yeah, well, basically, what you've been talking about all afternoon is that people working from home, due to the whole COVID situation, forces people to work at their kitchen table, forces them to work at a small office or have their kids around them. And all we do is to power those human connections worldwide, one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many. And in those situations, we truly are in the business for optimizing that kind of communication. So like active noise cancelling on your headset, so people won't hear your surroundings, or talking about video in just people tracking into rooms. So you don't have to worry about the controls, just communicate to each other and let video do the work for you. And that kind of solutions, we do that for about 30 to 40 years already. Two companies together like Plantronics and Polycom. So that's why we are in this business.
Yeah.
Empowering people in human connections and making those connections.
Yeah, and you can, for example, follow people, right? It's not like your fixed camera. When I do a Zoom call, I can choose which camera I want to use. And if I could choose a Poly camera that can follow me, right? I mean, it does more than just look at this 66-year-old grumpy old guy.
One of the directors of this meeting asked me to fix my camera and to be in the center.
Yeah.
That's something I don't have to worry about because the camera will do it themselves.
Wow. Yeah. And you can get closer actually by using this technology. For example, Microsoft software, you can get closer to what it is if we were here, face to face, right?
I don't understand that question, Charles. What do you mean?
No, I mean, people are complaining about the fact that, yes, Zoom call is great or Teams call, whatever, but it doesn't, it's not the same as actually be in the same room at the same table across from somebody and actually seeing each other.
Yeah, and our goal is to make it as lifelike as possible. But sure, face-to-face is, you can't touch each other, let's be honest.
You couldn't touch each other anyway, but a meter and a half distance,
well,
right?
I can give you a tap on the shoulder.
Yeah, yeah. Let's look forward. That in closing, I want to do it with the gentleman here as well. I mean, what's the next step? I mean, Yoshi said this is just the beginning, and he's in the same kind of business you guys are in. This is just the beginning. What's next in your view, Bart?
I believe there is a huge opportunity to use artificial intelligence into our solutions, just to make life more easy. Counting people in the room, making the software of Microsoft work. You need devices to do that, to get that data into those kind of platforms, to make decisions for you. So I believe we're at the forefront of that. And for example, we built that artificial intelligence into our audio, so we can distinguish through our speakerphones what kind of noise has to do with a meeting, with people talking to each other, and what kind of noise should be extracted out of that meeting. And it will learn by themselves. So those kind of algorithms, as we call them, they will progress and make meetings more fun to have and more effectively, basically.
And you offer your customers a total solution when it comes to video conferencing, both in the office and at home or away from home or wherever people are.
In every situation, we have solutions, from headsets to speakerphones to camera solutions, video solutions. We empower people in many situations and in work environments, but also in many platforms we can integrate with. Microsoft Teams is one of the biggest ones for us, of course, but we also integrate into Zoom or Starleaf or all those other kind of platforms. And we bring in our experience for over all those decades in which we even built those platforms ourselves.
Yeah. So far, the Corona pandemic, it's a disaster for some people, but for you guys, it's a huge business opportunity.
I got mixed feelings because, well, it's more an ethical question. We are doing very well, but at the same time, personally, I'm sitting at home, as you can see, and I'm having the same challenges as everybody else.
Yeah, of course. Wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us for a little bit.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Take care. Same question for you guys here in closing. If you have, of course, I mean, for a lot of people, it's a disaster, the pandemic.
But
people
but
falling ill.
it's a choice, huh? So Poland had the choice to be here at this table. That's the choice, and they had the choice. They chose to be.
It works
Zoom
well.
call, and it works
Yep.
well. So it means that you can be wherever you are. You can join this meeting and be just as effective as you want to be. So I think that is the, in a nutshell, especially when you're doing with these companies, you do these type of calls. You get the people from somewhere around the world and get them into the call, and it's seamless. It's not like you see the person, you can interact with the person. So I think that is a big advantage of video and video collaboration. And of course we had the wind of the pandemic helping on that side, but it was not that we're not in that same direction. It was just an acceleration of changing and working differently and getting the adoption quicker.
Because like for you guys, I mean, Teams has been, an accelerator for the whole business, for your whole company.
Yeah, definitely. So, but the
vision was already there.
Yeah, of course.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. So the work from anywhere, any place, and any device, that's also started a decade ago, and it picked up steam every year. But the thing that has changed, that it has suddenly accelerated in a really quicker pace.
I think if you
yeah. So that and if companies want to work that way, they have to upgrade their IT infrastructure. They have to move to a cloud-based workplace. So they have done that now because they wanted to continue their business, to enable everybody to continue to meet. But once you've done that, much more innovation is possible. And companies will benefit from that in the future. So I think, our economy still has a long way to go before it's back at previous levels. Companies having a more modernized IT infrastructure will actually help them being even more competitive in the future.
Yeah.
Wonderful. We have to leave it there because we are out of time. Thank you, Bart. Good luck. Best of luck there in your home office. You're in the attic.
I will.
Thank you very much. And thanks to the gentleman here as well. That ends the talk show. At least we have one a plenary session coming up in a little bit. But for now, thank you very much. Truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.